This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.
Hi, this is Joe Rabil. Happy New Year to everybody. So what I want to talk about today is risk. All right, I want to explain risk and how it's different depending on the time frame you're trading. All right, this is a concept that as I teach guys one-on-one trading, I'm working with a few right now that are trying to get better at day trading, and you have to kind of switch gears a little bit, because when you play longer-term trades, monthly, weekly, you're able to actually do a significant amount of trade, a number of different stocks you could hold at the same time. And I'll explain why, because of the amount of money that you're actually putting up. And as we scale down in the time frames, you realize that you really can only do one or two intraday trades, depending on how much money you're risking at any given time. And how much, if you want to use margin, that's fine. You can actually, the number can go up pretty significantly. But I just want to explain how this works, and I think you'll get something out of this. If you're interested in learning some of the techniques that I use in order to identify this symbol that I'm going to use today, which is Micron, which was one of the highlights in my reports going back. If you want to learn more about that type of stuff, you can buy the book. You can click the link in the description. I'm going to put that in there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe. Okay, the first thing I want to do is just point out this specific trade setup in Micron. You can see where on the longer term chart, it broke out above this kind of key level in the mid 90s, made a sharp move, and then pulled back into the zone between the 18 and the 40 month moving average. The MACD came down closer to the zero line and then started to turn to the upside. We regained the 18-month line. Let me just show you this. Let me just zoom in on this. We regained the 18-month line, which is this kind of magenta colored line, and then had a pause bar, actually two pause bars inside of this one bar, and then we kind of got going here to the upside. Now, when we go down to the smaller time frame, weekly, you can see that we emerged and pulled back, had a really nice little setup with a pinch play. We started to see green DI starting to kick in after a low ADX condition was in place for quite some time. And then we've had a pretty ferocious move to the upside. Now, if you wanted to play this off the monthly and weekly, you certainly could have done that. And the risk parameters I use are based on average true range. So I would go down to the smaller time frame. If I'm doing a monthly, weekly, then the weekly I'm going to show, and I'll show you this in a minute in detail, but you would have the risk based on this weekly chart, right? And then if you did a weekly daily, which you certainly could have done, you could use the daily risk, right? Now, if you wanted to go down and play it on a hourly chart using the daily and the hourly as a swing trade, and then play it over and over again, these pullbacks, trying to play these pullbacks using the hourly to enter, then you could do that and you'd use hourly risk, okay? And then I'm actually going to show you an example of a 5-minute and a 1-minute, and how that could be used for intraday trading. And this is all can be done on the same stock. I'm not saying that you would do it all. I'm just saying different people could trade depending on their styles, okay? And that's what you want to focus on. Figure out what's good for you. I kind of personally, I actually, the way I do things in my world is I do a lot of monthly, weekly trades. All right, and then I sprinkle in some weekly dailies, and then I do some of the daily, hourly trades based on counter trend. In other words, I'm playing the negative on the S&P. I'm looking for when the daily, hourly pattern looks like, especially the hourly, really looks like it might be rolling over, or a problem, and you really kind of want to make sure that there's a problem with the daily as well. And if you have that, then you'd play that to hedge your current holdings monthly, weekly. That's just my way of doing it. You could do a majority of your trades could be weekly, daily trades, and you could sprinkle in some swing trades. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but let me just show you and give you an idea of how this might look or work. So if we look at Micron. All right, I've got the monthly, weekly, weekly, daily, daily, hourly, and then a 5-minute and a 1-minute. Okay, the account size is 50,000. We're going to use that. If it's the same for all of these trades, we just say we have a $50,000 account. All right, now the risk percentage of the account that I'm going to risk per trade is going to be a little bit different depending on the type of trade I do. So monthly, weekly, and weekly, daily, I don't have a problem risking 1% of the account. Okay, which means I'm going to risk $500, $50,000 times 1%. I'm going to risk $500 on any single trade I'm doing in this specific account. This is just a fairy tale account. I'm just making this up just to give you an idea. All right, now daily, hourly, $50,000 account. I'm risking 0.5%. As an example, and I'm going to risk $250. Now, my reasoning is that these trades happen a lot quicker. You can get in and out of them a lot faster, and a weekly, daily could last anywhere to a couple weeks to a couple months. Where in a monthly, weekly could last anywhere from a couple months to a couple years. Okay, the daily, hourly, I typically would say a couple days to a couple weeks, maybe. Pretty rare to get a couple weeks out of it, but that it can happen. So I would tend to probably lower the risk profile a little bit. You don't have to do that. I mean, you could risk that, but then it's all about how many bullets you want to use at one time, right? I mean, if you can use a bazooka and have a big number, like a 2% number, and you're really just getting one shot, right? I like to use lower numbers so I get plenty of bullets and I can take a whole bunch of different shots at it, all right? And maybe, you hit one or two and all of a sudden you're profitable, all right? And then the intraday chart, I would take it down even another notch there because, again, if we have a good day trading, you literally, you could do 3 or 4 trades in a single day if you're trading just the morning. Very, very possible for that to happen in a good environment. So you don't necessarily want to risk 1% of the account every time. You have a bad day, all of a sudden you're down $2 or $3 grand. I mean, that's not really the risk profile. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense to me from an intraday standpoint, right? So you take this and then you build it up. You build up the account using this number. All right, so you risk $125 in a $50,000 account, and then over a course of a couple weeks, you turn that account into $55,000, or maybe it takes a month or something like that. You get it up to $55,000. Well, then 0.25% is going to be more money. You're going to be risking more money. The numbers are going to go up in that way. Now, here's where it gets interesting when we start to look at the risk. Using the average true range as an example, you could use the distance to the last important low, but you can see where on a monthly, weekly trade, I'm risking $23. Okay, on a weekly, daily, I'm risking about $10. A daily, hourly, risking $3, and then a 1-minute chart risking 60 cents, okay? And then if we multiply that times the price, this tells you how much you're actually investing. So the big difference comes when you look at something like a monthly, weekly, and you put 1%, you're risking $500, and you're only putting up $2,800 in order to see if you can't go hit some targets risking $500. If you go down to a 5 and a 1-minute trade, right, risking $125, I'm putting up $27,000. That's half of the account is going, more than half of the account is going into that single trade because I'm risking less per trade, okay? So we want to make sure you understand this, and if you're playing if you're really playing these daily hourlies, you realize that, if you're putting up $10,000, you really, to me, it makes more sense to only do 4 or 5 of them, right? I mean, you can go on margin if you want, but if you do 4 or 5, you're basically using up your entire account. And I'm just giving you ballpark estimate of what you should expect. If you're swing trading, you probably want to be in, I would say like a max of 5 is what I would generally be thinking. It's really hard to maintain. Those are a lot more active type trades. The weekly dailies, you can do a pretty significant amount of those. All right. Now, it does depend on the average true range and the risk to the low. You might get real good entry in a quiet period and then it breaks out. And if that happens, the weekly dailies, you're not going to be able to have that many of them. Okay. Now, it's pretty rare for the monthly weeklies to have that kind of situation where you're putting up positions. I guess it really does depend. The lower the volatility the average volatility in a stock, the more money you're going to be putting up because the risk is going to be less per trade, meaning the dollar amount that you're risking, right? So just recognize these type of things as you're putting trades on. And then if you're looking at stocks like a Micron merging out of a base, determine how you want to play it, what best suits your personality, and how much risk do you want to take, and how much money do you want to put up per trade. So, when you're starting out, it really is a good idea, right, to try and put up the least amount of money that you can. So you have to decide who you are. Right? If you want to trade weekly dailies, but you're just getting going, then don't risk 1% of the account. Risk 0.5%. Get more trades on with less risk, and then earn the right to work your way up to 1%. Right? You start making some profits, you start moving your way, and then not only are you risking more because the account is bigger, you can also up that because you've gotten to the point where you can risk more per trade. Right? You can go from 0.5% to 1%. You're feeling a lot more comfortable by doing it that way. The one thing that I try and get across to people that are starting out trading is that and not just starting out, if you go through a rough patch, if you have a losing streak or something like that, what ends up happening is you start to go off the rails, meaning you stop trading using the approach, and you're no longer looking for a trigger. You're just buying because you're feeling like you're getting left behind, the FOMO, or you're stopping yourself out early because you're afraid you've got risk. You're afraid of risk, right? You're afraid you're going to lose. So all these things are the types of things that can infiltrate your trading if you're not trading the right size. So what I recommend is go down to a size where you can follow your plan. If you go through a losing streak, cut it back down. You risk 0.25% of your account on a weekly daily until you can follow the plan for 20 to 25 trades. Once you've done that, then you can go back to your normal size. Right? But if you're not following your plan, you're really putting yourself at risk, because what ends up happening is you're going to end up being right a few times, and then you're going to think that's okay, to go ahead and do that, to just fly off the handle, just buy it when you feel like it, and you're going to set yourself up for failure in that type of situation. All right? Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.